Hello, my name is Leslie Reed with Indianapolis Online Community Magazine, and this is Newsmakers. I've got the pleasure today of speaking with State Representative Vanessa Summers of House District 99. Hello, Vanessa.
Hello, Leslie. How are you?
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's good being here with you and talking with you. And so, of course, obviously right now, all the buzz is Obama's signing, President Obama's signing of the health care legislation today, actually.
Yes, and actually I watched it on online as he signed pen to paper for the health care legislation. And I was very proud that he was able to get something done that they have been trying to do for not, decades.
Right.
To help the least and lost and those that are uninsured. It's a very, very important piece of legislation.
Well, and I'm glad that you commented on it, because obviously, being in Indiana, how will that legislation work for Hoosiers?
Well, now our governor says that it is going to hurt our HIP program, the legislation that we have here in Indiana for people that need help. But we don't know yet. You have to wait and let it vet itself out and work the kinks out and see what's going on. But the most important thing is the no pre-existing conditions, and if you are already sick, if you need to move from one insurance policy to another. And another one that's important to us with kids in college is being able to keep our children on our insurance policies until they're 26 years old, which is very good, because otherwise you'll still have to find them one. We would still have to find them one. So I think that it's very important that it's going to help our our people that need in-between help.
That's a good way to characterize it, and I think the point of it being out there for kids up to 26, I don't think that a lot of people are aware of that. So that's actually seems like an excellent benefit of the bill.
It was a benefit. It was an excellent benefit for me, considering I called the clerk's office yesterday and said, "Did I sign that paper for my son? Is he still under my insurance?" Because he just turned 21. So, that was a real important thing. It is. I don't understand what the downside is, other than people saying that government is taking over insurance, but what is Medicaid and Medicare?
Right. Well, certainly it's been a lot of wrangling. On another note, the last session of the Indiana legislature just ended. What would you say were the highlights of it? What sticks out in your mind about this recent session?
What we had an ethics bill that came out that would keep our gift giving down, as to say, not that we were really getting any big, I wasn't really getting any big junket gifts or parties or, going on trips, but it'll keep the giving down for the lobbyists to the legislator to $50 or under. And what it'll also do is, if I was to leave the legislature this year, I wouldn't be able to lobby for a year.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to go back over to the other side anytime soon.
Vanessa, on another count, the last session just ended in the Indiana legislature. What would you say were the highlights? What stands out in your mind about last session?
There were particularly two different things. There was the ethics bill that came out early that was a bipartisan piece of legislation from both the House and the Senate, Republicans and Democrats, on ethics that we are to govern ourselves by, the gifts that legislators give, the ability for, if I leave the legislature, I need a cooling off period before I can come back in and be a lobbyist. That was one issue. And then we had a real good fight on the state smoking ban, but it didn't make it. And then I ended up in the paper quite a bit on a piece of legislation that dealt with child care ministries. And so those were my highlights. Those were the things that I was running, that was chasing me and running. And, of course, all the things that, as chairman of the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus, that my other members needed to take care of. So we were pretty busy. The delay in the employer employment insurance, we had a problem. Some wanted it a year, some wanted it to 2 years. And so that was really, with all of us sitting around waiting for them to get a conclusion to that piece.
Right.
and just making sure that everybody gets what they're supposed to be. People forget that the short session of the legislature is really only supposed to be cleanup.
Right.
But they don't seem to do that. They do cognitive and really serious legislation in short sessions, and I sit back and go, it's just too hard. I had a piece, the bill that I was talking about, House Bill 1036, on the child care ministries.
Sure.
I was fighting a group of people that were totally uneducated on the issue, and instead of me trying to educate in a short session, I decided to drop it. We're educating all through the winter months. We're educating up until January of next year, and then I'll be ready to bring it back and battle that piece.
Well, and that's good, because that kind of leads into my next question. Next year's session, besides this child care bill, which it sounds like you're going to be bringing forward, what other priorities do you have for next year's session?
My only priority is becoming public policy chair. Our public policy chair is running for Congress, and I've been here 18 years, and I've been vice chair, and that's my main thing, is for him to recognize that I can hold it down and be on. I'm kind of like on a second tier committee situation, family, children, you know, but public policy is the first tier.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Vanessa, you talked a little bit about your priorities as a legislator next session, but being chair of the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus, what are their concerns and priorities for next session?
Well, along with the National Black Caucus of State Legislators, the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus will be trying to look into the mental health issues for our veterans coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. We find that they are not getting the treatment that they need. And so we're, having more shootings, more domestic violence. Murders are going up at an alarming rate. Suicides among veterans are very high. And that's a priority that our country should have for our veterans coming back from the war. And we find that they are not just getting the treatment that they need. And we want them to get the treatment and the help that they need to become whole again, because they have gone and fought for our country and fought for our liberties. And we want to be able to treat them the same way, giving them excellent treatment in the mental health field.
And the last question, and this might be a little bit of a hot button, talked about a lot, and obviously with budgetary concerns, there's been talk about gaming, in particular extending gaming into Indianapolis. Can you comment on that?
I don't know if we will ever get gaming in Marion County. Our state has 92 counties, 5 of which are minority-based. And with Marion County being one of those counties being minority-based, it always seems to be a hot-button issue to put a land-based casino in Indianapolis, because we had several places where we could go. We thought, well, Union Station would be perfect, Lafayette Square would have been a great place to do it, but it's the other 91 counties that doesn't necessarily want Indianapolis to have land-based. They don't want, even though there are land-based casinos, they might as well say they're casinos. They're not riverboats anymore. They are on land. I don't think they want to say that they have a casino in their capital city, downtown, mainstream Indianapolis. So I think that getting a casino in Marion County is going to be almost an impossibility.
We enjoyed talking with State Representative Vanessa Summers today, and we look forward to speaking with her again in the future. Until the next time, this is Newsmakers. Thanks.